Alright, hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be in 9.2, Chapter 9, Lesson 2. It is multiplying polynomials. So over the last couple of days, you've been working on adding and subtracting polynomials. Hopefully that's going fairly easy for you. But today we will be changing it up just a little bit, not any more difficult, just multiplying. So we are going to be on page 562, that's 9.2. So again, I encourage you to have your book out. If you need to kind of follow along with me, I'll be doing the example straight from the book there. You can be jotting these down if you want on some paper or just watching whatever works best for you. But as I said, today we are multiplying polynomials. So we're using polynomials, which last time we said was just many or multiple terms that make up an expression. And today, as the lesson says, I keep saying this, it's just that simple. We're just multiplying them instead of last time or the last couple of days we were adding and subtracting them. So if you look at the example, the first example on page 562, it gives us a monomial and a polynomial. The monomial is 2x cubed, right? And then that's outside the parentheses. And then inside the parentheses is the polynomial of x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. Okay, so we just have to find the product. And it's as simple as applying the distributor property, taking this monomial or this term and distributing it or applying it to each of the terms in the polynomial. So I'm going to take 2x cubed and multiply it by each term, and that's going to be my answer. So 2x cubed times x cubed is essentially 2x cubed times x cubed. Now, that is not 2x cubed. Remember, when we are multiplying bases, the same base, we add the exponent, right? So 2x cubed times x cubed, which is the same as 1x cubed, right? That would be 2x to the 6 is how that works out. Because remember, we add those exponents when we're multiplying bases or coefficients that have the same base. We add the exponents. Now we multiply 2x cubed times positive 3x squared. So that's the same thing. So it's 2x cubed, or 2 times 3 is 6. X cubed times x squared is x to the 5th. I'm just adding those. So 2x to the 6th plus 6x to the 5th. Going back here and doing this one, 2x cubed times negative 2x. So that would be negative or minus 4x and then 3. There's an understood 1 there, right? So 3 plus 1 is 4. So that would be negative 4x to the 4th. And then 2x cubed plus 5, or times positive 5, is 10x cubed, because there's nothing there to, no variable there or exponent and variable to add. Now, a critical piece of information is you notice that I did all that to, these were unlike terms, but these are unlike terms, these are unlike terms, and these are unlike terms. That's okay. As I mentioned in the last video, and we've talked about this in class, y'all, you can multiply unlike terms. You cannot add or subtract them, though. So that's why I'm able to do that. So the product of this monomial and polynomial is 2x to the 6th plus 6x to the 5th minus 4x to the 4th plus 10x cubed. That is your answer, and you will see that checks out right there in example 1. Okay. I kind of just went the long way in explaining that just to make sure we all understand, but we can do a lot of this in our head lickety-split, I have no doubt. Okay, let's just do one more example, because this time it's a little different with this one, because instead of multiplying a monomial times a polynomial, what you'll have to do, we are multiplying two polynomials. So example 2, I'm going to use that example, but I'm not going to do the table that it shows there, all right? We don't need to do that. But the example is x minus 4 times 3x plus 2. Okay, So there's a very critical sequence that you have to use when multiplying polynomials like this, all right? And that is called the, I'm going to put it over here, the FOIL method, all right? That is first, outer, inner, and last. First, out, inner, last. Or first, out, outside, I guess I'll put, sorry. First, outside, inner, and last. So what that means is I'm going to, it's going to get a little crowded here in just a moment, but then I'm going to erase it and show you. So using the FOIL method, I'm going to multiply these two terms at a time is all. So I'm going to take the first term times the first term and multiply those. Then I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to go to that term and do it with that one, and that term and do it with that one. Okay, so first, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. All right, that's kind of what that looks like. Okay, so let me get rid of that and show you what that looks like practically speaking. So again, x minus 4 times 3x plus 2. All right, so first, x times 3x is going to be 3x squared. Remember, we're multiplying, so I'm adding those variables. That's like x to the first and x to the first, or x to the first times x to the first is x squared. So, and then the one, understood 1, 3 times 1 is 3. So 3x squared. Outer, or outside, so that x times the 2, well, what is x times 2? It is 2x. And I put a plus there because it's a positive 2. So it's positive x times positive 2 is positive 2x. And now the inner, negative 4 times 3x, or positive 3x. So a negative times positive is a negative. Negative 4 times 3x is negative 12x. And then last, negative 4 times positive 2 is negative 8. Okay? Excuse it being crooked. You guys are used to that. I'm working on it, I promise. So I need to now evaluate and see if there are any like terms to combine, and I can easily see that there are. So my answer is going to be 3x squared. And I'm just crossing these out. You don't have to. I'm just showing you that I'm done with it, so we don't get confused by it or whatever. 2x minus 12x is negative 10x, and then those are done, and then minus 8. So my answer in multiplying these two polynomials is 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. Okay? 3x squared minus 10x minus 8. And I know that's simplified because there are no other terms, like terms, to combine. Okay? I want to do one more like this. If you've got it, then you can go ahead and get started if you want, but I do want to just show you one other critical piece of information just to reinforce what I mentioned earlier. Let's do one that's a little lengthier, just because you'll see these. It's the example 4 on page 563. 2x squared plus 5x minus 1 times the quantity 4x minus 3. Yep, 2x squared plus 5x minus 1 times 4x minus 3. Okay, so just pay attention to our signs and make sure we still do the first, outer, inner, last. All right, it's just now this time we are applying it to 3 of them. So it's going to be this one times this and this. All right, let me draw my arrows here so you can see it. It's going to be, and I'll draw them underneath so you can I don't get it scrunched up here. So it's this times this and this times this, and then it's this times this and this times this and that one and that one. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to combine like terms. So again, what that looks like practically is this. 2x squared plus 4x is 8x. Remember, that's like a 1 right there, right? So I'm multiplying, so x squared times x is x to the third, because I add those exponents. 8x cubed, so that was that one. Now it's this one. 2x squared times negative 3 is negative 6x squared. 5x, I'm just going down the line here. 5x, I'm going to multiply the 5x times each of these. So 5x times 4x is 20x squared. And I'm going to erase my FOIL notes here to give me more room. 20x squared, okay? And then 5x times negative 3 is negative 15x. And then the negative 1, because I multiplied this term times both of these, and this term times both of these. Now I just multiplied this term times both of these. Negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x, because the negative times the positive is a negative. And then negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. So now that I have that, I'm going to combine all my like terms, and that'll be my answer. 8x cubed, I think that is the only unit, the only term with that base, or with that like term, so done with that one. Negative 6x squared plus 20x squared. Negative 6 plus 20 is positive 14. Keep those the same. The term is the same there. That's done. Negative 15x minus 4x is negative. I'm going backward, right, on my number line. So that is negative 19x. Bam, bam. And then plus 3. So there on example 4, you should see 8x cubed plus 14x squared minus 19x plus 3. And that is multiplying polynomials. Okay, so if you need to go back and look at that, please go back and look at those different examples. But what I want you to see is, regardless of whether it's like example 2, where there's just 2 terms in each polynomial, or example 4 that we just did that has maybe 3 or more terms, it's still the same thing. You're multiplying each term in the first polynomial times each term in the second polynomial. And please go in this order. Start with the first one and multiply it times all the second terms in that second set in order. Go to that term and do all those in that order. Go to that term. So what I'm saying is, don't like start here and then do it times that and then times that and just kind of mix it all around. Just keep it simple, okay? So if you have any questions about that, please call me, text me, email me, let me know. But otherwise, your lesson today will be 9.2, and then tomorrow we're changing it up a little bit, going a little slower because we have different circumstances now. So we're going to be practicing this more with different assignments, but the same thing tomorrow as well. So we're not going to speed through this. We're going to really make sure we understand it. All right? Get to work and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.